I have what's called a joke reel, which is part cuts from U2 and stuff which I know really upsets processing. And it's relatively short and condensed of things I know are going to break processors. And that's the first thing I run again and again and again. And that's the way that things are established, you know, once the algorithms are built.
So you're basically listening to the same stuff that we're listening to, which is pretty good because
yeah.
we're all on the same page with that, which is cool.
In a condensed form. I don't have the luxury of, you know, sitting there with the processors going all the time.
Right.
You know, so okay, there's an issue, I need to deal with it. What exacerbates it? What really annoys it?
Yeah.
And I concentrate on that.
There's always a cut that'll break a box.
Oh, absolutely. you're ace at finding them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you sit there listening to this stuff every day.
And that's really a good point, though. I mean, when we do development and tuning and testing, you know, we'll make aggressive presets. And one of the things that takes so much time in the development of processing that works is once you find these settings that you think sound really good compared to everybody else's box, then you start throwing cut after cut after cut after cut to find one, and there will be at least one, that makes it do something you don't want it to do.
Right.
And then you have to stop and figure out, all right, what does it see in that audio that's different from everything else that it did fine? Figure out what tuning change you need to make, or algorithm change if that's necessary. Fix it, and start over.
Right.
And you repeat that over and over and over again until you've played as many cuts of as much different material as you can through your product to the point where you're pretty darn sure that when you hand it to a customer, he's not going to call you after the first song and say, this thing is broken.
Yeah. Nice part about that is sometimes you'll find something that's broken, and then you get into maybe a loop a little bit trying to fix it, and then you listen to the source material and you're like, oh.
It's broken.
It's broken. It's broken.
Yeah, what's that other button on the sideboard's for? It's like, what does it really sound like?
Or it's broken on
everybody's
wide,
yeah.
And then you're beginning like, okay, you still are not happy. It's a little reassuring when I guess it's kind of broken on other boxes, but you still want to know why, even if the source material, especially if the source material is not broken.
Right.
You want to say, well, wouldn't it be nice if we were the only one that it didn't
It's like that cut we found the other day.
Right.
You know, it didn't matter. 4 racks full of boxes. It didn't matter what processor it was.
They all
broke. Tore that song to shreds.
It did, didn't it? It was wonderful.
And I think ours tore it a little less than the others, but
it's just sometimes it's the preemphasis curve and
the way everything
the source sounds good because there's no preemphasis added, and you add preemphasis and all the other stuff, and you know, unless you want to turn that off, and that's not a good idea.
Well, that song had other issues too, but yeah, it was a very challenging cut, and those are the ones that we save. You know, we've got a folder full of those, and
well, I dread it when I get an email from you with a new
here's
track
another
in
cut,
it.
Steve, or here's another 10 cuts.
Here's some more. Have some more.
So we actually want to find the cuts that make things misbehave.
Yes, exactly.
Because we want to understand what the processor sees and why it's behaving. And of course, we know our box better than the other guy's box. But if we can understand how to make that song work in the field, and the other guys don't, then we have an advantage.